and go.
This is Football Central, bringing you live an exclusive build-up to Manchester United v Tottenham.
Okay, and go. Is he still there? You still there, Sam? Right. Oh, dear me. Okay, me for you again. Right, hello guys. Anyway, welcome to Football Central. Sam is just gone a little technical issue. I'll try to get him back. So. Yep. Let's just. Hopefully, Sam will be with us in a moment. We're just having some technical difficulties. Come on. Anyway, I'm TubeMix, and as I said, welcome to Football Central, where today's game is Manchester United v Tottenham at Old Trafford. As you can hear, I'm not exactly in the best condition, just a little bit grotty. I've still got my cold. So as soon as we will get Sam back, I will hand over to him for the rest of the show, where he'll basically go over all the results while also bringing you the team news today. So yes, and before Sam, thanks to JLI Wheels and Sam for steering the ship last time, and they did a brilliant job, and Sam will do an amazing job, I know, of steering the ship again today, stepping in for me while I can just while I try to get this cold away, so then I'm back and fully fit and well, and hopefully by tomorrow's transfer deadline day special 7 till 9, this cold will be largely gone, and hopefully I will be better. And I was not really meant to be doing this, which is why you really are not seeing my webcam. Right, we'll try again. Sam's having problems with his internet, I think. We'll try again. Hopefully we can get him on the line. Please work. Okay, we're struggling to get Sam. I hope he will be back with us because I could really do with him being here really to step in, particularly step in for me. Well, I suppose I better bring my webcam up. Right. Yeah, Sam's internet's obviously not having it. Okay, I'm gonna try just calling Sam. Not through this, maybe. Oh, come on, please. Unreachable. Right. Trying very hardest to get Sam back. Excuse me. In fact, sorry, I do apologise for this. This is not ideal. Come on, Sam. And if he accidentally, because he did say he was charging his phone up. No. Right. Oh, hang up. Getting a message from Sam. Oh. We've got him at last. Are you there,
Hello?
Sam Taylor?
Sorry, my internet went off just as I was about to do the intro.
I know, that's just typical. Anyway, without further ado, you shouldn't be seeing me coughing for the rest of it. I will hand over to your host, Sam Taylor. Over to you, Sam.
And thank you for covering me, TubeMix, who's a very poorly TubeMix at the moment. So thank you for that. Just as I was about to be on the title and do the proper intro, my internet went off. So great job by TubeMix covering that. Right, well, after a shaky start to my debut, I am single and on my own today, as JLI Wheels and Ben Carney are both busy, and as I've mentioned, TubeMix is ill. So after a shaky start to my debut from the intro, let's hope that the game between Manchester United v Tottenham Hotspur kicking off at 4:30 is not as shaky as my debut, especially as Tottenham have a new striker involved today. They've signed Peculius, who is going to probably be back up to Harry Kane. But yeah, let's see what happens and see whether what Man United can conjure up in Spurs today. I've not seen any team news as yet, but I can bring you the team news as soon as we have it fresh here from Football Central. And yeah, let's just hope it's going to be a really good game today. United have looked shaky, I think, in our first couple of games. So our first game was a loss against Crystal Palace, 3-1, which was an awful match. We didn't look sharp. We didn't look focused. We looked well off the pace. Palace were better than us in all areas. And then obviously we escaped against Brighton, if you can call it an escape, with the goal going in for United past the full-time whistle when Neil Maupay gave away the penalty. So we've been a bit flattering to deceive so far. But today represents a great chance for United to get another 3 points on the board against probably a rival for the top four, you imagine, with this Fekulius coming in and Regulon and Bale as well to Tottenham. And they've had a mixed start. And obviously had the Eric Dyer handball last week against Newcastle in the last minute. So I think it represents a good opportunity for both teams to get 3 points on the board. Obviously, it's still early days in the season, but you look how Everton and Liverpool and Villa have started the season, and that Villa and Liverpool play each other tonight. It represents a really good opportunity for Man United to get and Tottenham to get 3 points on the board, which probably means it's going to be a 0-0 boring draw. But let's hope not. And it's interesting with the mind games as well been taking place. Jose Mourinho saying that Man United get more penalties than any other club, which we did seem to get a lot of penalties last season. But I think it's because we play on the break quite a bit and catch teams out. And obviously for Tottenham, Mourinho loved a dig against his old club. So you could argue there's extra motivation for Tottenham today, because we've got Jose Mourinho at the helm. So yeah, I mean it should be a great game, a great spectacle, as long as Mourinho doesn't play part of the bus football, which you never know from him. Yeah, and if you guys can't believe I'm getting to do this, because normally TubeMix or JLI Wheels would do this. If you guys have any comments or anything you'd like to say about the game, I can't see them at the moment, but I'm sure we'll cover them in tomorrow's transfer special deadline day here on Football Central. So please, even though we can't see them live because I'm on my own, please feel free to comment in about the game, and we will go through some of those comments tomorrow. So yeah, and I think I think it's a big season for United, and Ollie. You know, does he really have the capacity to take United to the next level? Which is for me, um, which might seem a bit strange for some people, but for me, United going to the next level um, has to be getting into the top four on a regular basis again, and then starting to challenge for cups, and then maybe for the league. And I guess Tottenham's objective is the same. I suppose since Pochettino um, has left, or since Pochettino got sacked last season, sorry, they probably have um, Tottenham being a bit more like the old flaky Spursy kind of Tottenham that we saw, which Bale was a part of that team, not quite playing the high press that they did under Pochettino. But I think both teams' goals are probably the same: top four and try and win a trophy. Which there was a good piece I was looking at this morning, before I came on air today about United are normally the ones that spend a load of money and get the quality in, and Tottenham have a very good first 11, 12, 13 players, but beneath that they really seem to struggle. The depth of the squad isn't there. But if you look at United, it's sort of today's game. You feel it's roles reversed, and United are the ones that are a bit stretched, particularly at the back. I think nobody's going to lie that we need a centre half. I was speaking to JLI Wheels earlier, and we were both saying we probably need a couple of good fullbacks as well. Wan-Bissaka's good, but he's a bit inconsistent. Although we did spend a lot of money on him, and Shaw is probably not good enough, along with Brandon Williams, who's got plenty of potential, but they need Shaw's probably not going to quite make the grade as a United player, and Williams is still young, so we probably need full backs, but centre half is a big problem. I think, as TubeMix will tell you, he's not the greatest fan of Lindelof, and Lindelof's okay, but him and Maguire have no pace, and you look at all the best partnerships United have had: Vidic and Ferdinand. We've had Yap standing there, Bruce and Pallister, all that. They all had one that was very good with the ball, but one that was good at clearing and had a lot of pace about them. So the point I'm trying to make is, going back to today's game, is that Tottenham, if I was Tottenham, who have some very good forward players, Son, Bergwijn, Kane, Ali if he plays, can really exploit the Man United top back two, or back five, depending on what system we play in. But can really expose the centre half and our fullbacks, and playing behind them and get them turning. I think if Tottenham do that, and Tottenham get balls in behind for not so much Kane, because he doesn't do a lot of running, but Son and Moura and Bergwijn to run on to, then I think we could be in trouble. And obviously midfield is a big area. We've got possibly Sissoko in there, Winks. I'm not a big fan of the new lad Hotspur they brought in. But maybe if you're a Tottenham fan, you can explain to me and to us again by posting on the channel about what you think of Hotspur. I think he believes his own hype, but doesn't produce the goods. But I suppose you could say it's early days for the lad at Tottenham. But I think there's a chance we could be in trouble with Tottenham's pacing behind, and you get the ball to Harry Kane, he'll stick the ball in the back of the net. So yeah, I mean, I think Tottenham has brought well, spent well. They look all right. They've not looked great in every game, and they did play on Thursday in the Europa League. Oh, I think it was Thursday. So that they need to we need to exploit that. Man United, we need to exploit the fact that the Tottenham played on Thursday night. I'm sure Jose will make some changes, but there'll be players in there that are tired and have played a lot of football, and there's been the excuse that United have played not much football in pre-season and only had a couple of league games and whatever and 3 games in the cup, but there's no excuse now. We should be fit enough to go the long haul. Just seen a bit of breaking news actually, just away from the game, that Diego Dallo is to go on loan for a season. I didn't see where, but also, right, the Man United team news is in to play Tottenham. David De Gea will play in goal. Then a defence of Wan-Bissaka, Bailly, Maguire, Shaw, Matic, Pogba, Fernandes, Greenwood, Rashford, Martial. The subs, Henderson, Lindelof, Fred, Lingard, Mata, McTominay, Van de Beek. Tottenham's team is Lloris, Aurier, Dyer, Sanchez, Reguilon, Hojbjerg, Sissoko, Ndombele, Lamela, Son, Kane, Hart on the bench, Doherty, Alderweireld, Davis, Winks, Ali, and Mora. So there are your 2 teams for the game. It looks like, from what I could see there, because it was flashing across the pitch very quickly, that United are playing a back 4 with Tottenham playing a back 5, but it remains to be seen. I suppose we'll get that as the teams come out in the lineup. So strong from both sides there. Interesting that Dele Alli's back on the bench for Tottenham today. He's a big player for Tottenham, has been big for England as well. But when he's obviously fallen out of favour with Jose Mourinho, or is not working hard enough. We've seen with I don't know if any of you have seen the Spurs documentary, but if you haven't seen the Spurs documentary, basically it shows Tottenham over the last 12 months or so, from just before Pochettino got sacked, and when Jose Mourinho came in, he said to Daniel Levy, up to the end of last season, this documentary was, and he said to Daniel Levy, Jose Mourinho, that Dele Alli is an extremely talented footballer, but doesn't work hard enough certainly in training, for Jose Mourinho's liking. And I think there is this perception that Mourinho has players he doesn't like. When I say that, you look at Mata at Chelsea, who got Chelsea's best player for 2 years in a row. You look at Rashford had a tough time under Mourinho, and he came out with those comments publicly that now you see why I don't play Lukaku. Luke Shaw had a hard time under Mourinho, but I think Dele Alli. I think the days are gone where you have players that are great trainers and that are rubbish trainers but can play really well on the football pitch. I think now you've got to your managers really look at how you play in training. So if you're just coming in, I'll just read the team news again when it comes up for any of you that missed it. But yeah, I think Jose Mourinho's probably thinking that Dele Alli doesn't work hard enough. So here we go again, one more time. De Gea in net, Wan-Bissaka, Bailly, Maguire, Shaw in a back four, Matic, Pogba, Fernandes in a midfield three, Greenwood, Rashford, Martial. So that's 4-3-3 for United. Subs head it's got off and Anderson, Lingard. I'll go back actually, so I can bring me to you there. But that's the United shape anyway, which is a four. Looks like a 4-3-3 for United, which is interesting. We have played with 5 at the back on occasion, which is a little bit worrying because you could say that it shows that Ollie doesn't know his best formation. So subs: Henderson, Lindelof, Fred, Lingard, Mata, McTominay, Van der Beek. Tottenham, Lloris, Aurier, who's a liability, Dyer, Sanchez, Regular, and then Højbjerg, Sissoko, Ndombele, Lamela, Son, Kane. Hart is on the bench, Doherty is on the bench, Alderweireld, Davis, Winks, Ali, and Mora. So there is your teams and your subs. I think it's quite interesting. I think it looks like both teams that might go with a back four, and 3 in midfield, which is quite interesting. But we'll see how they shape up. It can sometimes look different on the pitch. Now this is the part of the show where we would normally discuss where we think the game's going to be won and lost. But I can't really talk to myself about that. So I'll just, because I'm on my own, so I'll just give you my view on where the game will be won and lost. So I think, but for Man United to win the game, we have to start fast. It's crucial that we get a good start. Because if we don't start well, then I think Tottenham will grow in confidence. I think Bruno's a great player, but I'm going to make a statement that I don't think he's been at his best so far this season. I think he's struggled on the ball. I don't know, maybe it's such a short pre-season, and there's no doubt that that's a policy. And he did score the winner again. He did score the winner. Sorry about that. That must have been stupid to score. But we'll just go through that anyway. Because he's watching the stream, even though he's just not very well today. Get well soon, TubeMix. Anyway, so yeah, I think Fernandes has not been in the best form, even though he scored that crucial penalty. That crucial penalty against Brighton. And I think midfield, our midfielders. I mean, people like Pogba and that seem to be struggling to. He loses the ball a lot in dangerous areas, especially when we're trying to play out from the back. And today, you don't want to be losing the ball to Son and Kane in those in the back third of our defensive third of the pitch. So for me, that's a worry. Playing out from the back, I think our midfield has not been strong enough and not been fluid enough. Just going back to that breaking news about Diego Dallo is going to go on loan to AC Milan on a season-long loan. Whether that is an option to buy, I'm not sure at the end of the season. But the breaking news, as well as the team news, is that Diego Dallo is set to join AC Milan on a season-long loan, which I think probably be good for his development. He struggled at United. So yeah, going back to our midfield, I'm not sure we got the best fluidity. You look at somebody like Man City's team. They all interchange, and all right, City have had the problems, but De Bruyne will pop on the right, he'll pop on the left, he'll pop in the middle. Same with Mahrez, Sterling, Foden. Where United are very fixed, we don't quite have a fluidity. And for me, I'm going to say this, Pogba plays too deep. So for me, Pogba should be up alongside Fernandes with Matic or McTominay, as I think it is today, in behind them too, to play the defensive role. We don't need two defensive midfielders, and quite often Matic plays alongside Pogba, or Pogba plays alongside Matic, whichever way you want it to be. But for me, Paul Pogba, he has all the attributes to play defensive midfield. But if you look at his best positions for France, if you look at when Paul Pogba's been at his very best, he plays best higher up, sort of as an attacking midfielder with somebody in behind him. Kante, for example, in the French team, sits behind him in a defensive midfield role, and just soaks up all the pressure. But for me, if Pogba's position is further forward, alongside Fernandes, and those two can interchange, because Paul Pogba's better where he can affect the game. He's not really a stopper or a blocker. Starting attacks, he wants to be involved and finish off attacks from midfield, a bit like Paul Scholes used to do. Arriving late in the box. But Ollie's the manager. Now you look at Mourinho, and we'll go back to what, because I certainly do. I know TubeMix and JLI Wheels can have a very biased opinion on this show where we talk about one team more than the other. But I'm not like that. It's good to look at both angles of this show. And Tottenham have a serial winner manager, and Jose Mourinho, serial winner. where United TubeMix. Though a lot of TubeMix's points, he doesn't like Bale, he doesn't like certain players, but we won't, we won't go, we won't go into that. That that's for another day. Um, but um, but one thing United Tottenham have is a serial winning manager. Whether you think Jose Mourinho has passed his best remains to be seen. I suppose what he does at Tottenham and whether he can spend the money, and if he is allowed to spend the money, can he can he be um, can he be influential? Um, but no, but but just looking, I got it wrong. Matic is in that holding midfield role with McTominay on the bench. So for me um, that has to be Pogba playing up further forward with McTominay. With Fernandes, because there's no point playing him alongside Matic. Let Matic do the defensive work. But anyway, with regards to Mourinho, is a serial winner, whether you think he's past his best or not. Um, but you look at Ollie, and I love Ollie. Don't get me wrong, I want United to be successful under Ollie because he's a club legend, and you want your club legends to do well. Your front, even like club legends at a club, you want to do well. So even though I'm a United fan, I don't want Frank Lampard to fail at Chelsea because he's a legend there, and I think it's a shame when people give so much to a club and then go back in a manager capacity like Alan Shearer did for Newcastle. And what did he have? 10 games? Was it at the end of the 2008-9 season? 7-8, I can't remember which. I think it was 8-9. And he only lasted 10 games and they ended up getting relegated. For me, that's a shame because the players have given a lot to that club. So I hope Ollie succeeds. I think Ollie's a lovely guy, and but I do think there's a reason why he failed at Cardiff, and and I know he went to Mould and did okay, but I just worry whether he's ruthless enough. And it's a great point TubeMix makes every time we bring up Manchester United and where we are and how we could improve. And the TubeMix's view is Ollie ruthless enough when things aren't going right? And when things are going wrong, does he make changes quick enough to the side? Does he stick with the same players too often? Should he change it up? Quite often, he makes late substitutions, which is fine if you're trying to protect a game that you're winning or doing well in. But if you need to get a result, then that's not not so good to just make changes after 80 minutes, because particularly at this time of year it takes players 5 minutes to get into the game and get a touch, and then you're only giving them 10 minutes on the pitch. You better make it at half time, or at least no later than the 60-minute mark. Obviously then if it's still not working you can make changes, but Ollie tends to stick with something even if it's not going right from the start of the game till about the 75-80 minute mark, when there's not a lot left and time left for those players to affect the game. And from a Tottenham point of view, I mean, Tottenham are an interesting one, aren't they? They've signed Reguilon, they've signed Bale, and I watched Reguilon the other night, and yes, he was at fault. You could say for the team over in a goal, because he lost the ball and then went to tackle the Chelsea player but threw himself at the ball, and so he but he did have some good moments. He had some very, very good moments. So yeah, it looks like, just looking at the teams that they've matched up, that they've matched up with the same formations with Ndombele, and can't remember his name, and Højbjerg in midfield, with Son, Kane, and with Sissoko, with Højbjerg, Sissoko, and Ndombele in midfield, and Lamela, Son, Kane playing as a front three. So that's interesting that they have matched up in a similar way. Maybe both teams will cancel each other out, playing a 4-3-3 formation. Maybe Lamela will play a bit wider of those front three. So maybe it won't quite be that, but that's certainly how it looks on the paper I've got in front of me. It'll be a 4-3-3 for Tottenham as well. So they've matched each other up. And Ndombele is an interesting one, Spurs fans. And last season was very up and down. Obviously has quality, but the Spurs record signing, scored on the opening day of last season in a 3-1 win at home to Aston Villa, in his first game, and then didn't do a lot. Pochettino didn't really play him, and then Mourinho didn't. And during lockdown, you saw Mourinho working one-on-one with Ndombele when training was allowed to start again. But in the last few weeks, having looked like he might go Spurs record by, and it spent a lot of money on him, 59-60 million. That is a lot of money to spend, and he didn't look like he was going to get in. But to be fair to the lad, he was influential in a couple of goals against Southampton, and has played in their league game 5-2 win, where Son scored 4 goals and Kane set a ball for. And he's looked quite lively, I've heard, in the Europa League games. I don't get to see many Europa League games because I haven't got BT. But yeah, he looked quite. He looks like he's improving. And there was the feeling that he didn't work hard enough for the team as that main anchor, because he's sort of the main anchor from the back four, but then can get forward as well, and interchange with Højbjerg in the defensive midfield role. I actually think now he's got Højbjerg behind him, although I've said I'm not a big fan of Højbjerg, but it might just help him having that extra body behind him, so then he can draw him and Sissoko, who can also be good in the tackle, but him and Sissoko can push forward, so that Ndombele doesn't have to run up and down as much and cover the ground, because he's not really a Decore, I don't think, he's again like Pogba, like Decore, he's got the assets to be a box-to-box midfielder, but it's all about mindset, and he looks better moving forward, very influence the game, and so maybe that extra body of Højbjerg might help him, but But yeah, and I think it's a big season for Tottenham. New stadium, obviously I had to get used to it last year. It was difficult because they went in at the back end of the season before that. And then they had to properly get used to it last season in their first full season in the new Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Now I know people will say it's in the same site as our old White Hart Lane, so it's been built in the same area, so it's not like moving from one ground to another. It's been made over White Hart Lane, but so it's still at White Hart Lane, but it's hard when you've got new surroundings and they've got new changing rooms and spent on the facility. Then the unrest with the managers, with Pochettino going and everything that happened last season, I still haven't been able to feel they've had time to settle and really enjoy the new surroundings. Because let's be honest, I think it's the new camp has the most football supporters, club supporters, in terms of what they can have for capacity. However, let's be honest, with Tottenham's, I mean, I've not been on the ground. I have been to Tottenham, to White Hart Lane, but let's be honest, the facilities from the outside and what I've seen inside of them, they have the capacity to should be playing in Champions League, should be pushing for the league. You know, they've got the stadium now set up. It's been amazing the way it's been built up and round, like in a dome shape. I just think it's, they've got everything in place now to compete at the highest level. But obviously this is at Old Trafford. But Old Trafford isn't really a fortress anymore. Gone are the days when Man United were really feared. I mean, you just look at our transfer business again. Jadon Sancho didn't want to come to United. Gareth Bale, alright, he played for Tottenham, so maybe his heart was there, but they got him. Tottenham got him. Regular went to Spurs. So players don't. Not saying they don't want to go to Man United. That's a bit harsh, but because Man United is the biggest global club, you could argue, with Real Madrid and Barcelona in the world, known worldwide, whatever language you speak, the words Manchester United. But it just shows how, how if the club are progressing, that even the biggest clubs can struggle to attract the biggest players, even though we are in the Champions League. So just to recap on the breaking news, just going away from this game, Diego Dallo has joined AC Milan on a season-long loan. Edison Cavani, I believe, was flying into Manchester today for a medical. I've not seen an update on that. And some other breaking news coming from Man United, just as I was saying about the lack of transfer activity. So the breaking news, I'll read it out, is Manchester United finalising a deal to sign Porto left-back Alex Telles, which is quite, I know there's been reports of that, but I've not really believed it because we've been linked to so many players that haven't come off. But talking about left-backs, and Luke Shaw probably not being quite good enough, and Brandon Williams not quite being good enough, then the fact we're signing Telles, or looking like we're signing Telles, would be a great deal because I think he's a really good player. So I have got now the United formation in front of me, which obviously helps, and just seeing the names across the screen. So there will be in goal. Now playing with a back four of Wan-Bissaka, Bailly, Maguire and Shaw. I'm surprised I didn't go for three with three.
Oh, is Sam still there? You there, Sam? Sam? Okay. Excuse me. Right. Just sanitize me up. Right, I think Sam's internet has gone. Okay, right. I'll call you back, Sam. Okay. Right, hello, it's TubeMix here again. You're watching Football Central, where today's game, as Sam has said, is... Oh! And here's Sam now, so I'll hand you over back to him.
So, TubeMix, sorry about that, everybody. TubeMix, I think, was getting a bit confused because I was here all along, but for some reason he couldn't hear me. So I'll carry on from where I was. Just I don't know when he stopped being able to hear me. So if he couldn't hear me, as the viewers, Manchester United are close to signing left back Alex Tellez, and I've got the United formation up here with De Gea in goal, a back four of Wan-Bissaka, Bailly, Maguire and Shaw, and I'm surprised we're not playing the back five, to be honest, because I always think Luke Shaw is better in the back five. Pogba and Matic with as the two holding midfielders, actually, so it's a little bit different than I thought. So Pogba and Matic as two holding, and then sort of in behind Martial is Greenwood, Fernandes and Rashford and Martial. So it's more of a 4-2-3-1 really than a 4-3-3, which just shows you how much I know, even though on the format it didn't look quite what I was expecting. So Martial's playing as a lone striker with Greenwood and Rashford probably providing the width. Pogba and Matic holding with Fernandes sort of in the number 10 role. So yeah, so that is the Man United formation. So yeah, Tottenham are playing with a back four, and they are playing as I thought they would, a 4-3-3, with, well, the players I mentioned: Lloris, Aurier, Sanchez, Dyer, Reguilon, Sissoko, Højbjerg, and Dembele on the right of the three, Lamella on the left of the three, Kane and Son on the right. So yeah, so we'll see how the game goes, really. Let me just check what time we are on and how long we've got left. Oh, so we got a few more minutes. Just quickly, my prediction for the game. It feels weird just saying my prediction on my own, but I think Tottenham will do us today. I really do. I've not been convinced by United yet. I think Brighton play very well, probably are not clinical enough when it really matters. I think that against Tottenham, if we play like we did against Brighton, then they'll punish us. They won't hit the bar 4 times. And call that unlucky for Brighton. It was unlucky, but I sort of don't think it's coincidence as well, because they do have a lacking edge. Even against against Everton yesterday. You know, they control large periods of the game. And all right, yeah, they did concede 4 and score, but they still scored 2 goals. But they're just not clinical enough. They lack a clinical nature, and I think if United play anywhere near as poor as we did against Brighton, then it won't be looking very bright. I can tell you that. For us, yeah, and everybody goes on about top 4 this season, and I don't want to be a doom and gloom Man United fan because I'm you know, I love my football. I love supporting United. I love my team, and I don't want to sound like a grumpy tube mix. But I do think that we'll struggle for top 4. Um, I think we'll be more battling for Europa League this year. But that's just as a United fan in recent years because we're not challenged for the league since Fergie left. Really, I know we finished second under Mourinho, but we were way off Man City that year, who were unfortunately were incredible. But I'm just being. But I've learned to lower my expectations slightly. We're still on the recovery. Ollie's still got a lot to prove. He needs to be given time because managers don't get time these days. I mean, look at Fergie. What did he last? 5 years without winning anything, and we were pretty average, mid-table then. I know we didn't quite have the winning mentality we have now because when we won the Premier League in its debut season, it was the first time we'd won a league since for 25 in the 25 years previous. Where now we're obviously used to in the last 30 years winning title after title. So the mentality was different, but also the game changed. So you look at Alex Ferguson, he was probably might not be the best coach of all time, but it's certainly probably the best manager of all time, with Guardiola and Mourinho himself in that bracket as well. But you know the fact that it took him 5 years to win anything, he won't get that now. Obviously, United are a bigger team now than they were when he walked in, even though it was still a big club. But we won't get that time now somewhere like United without winning the trophy. But look at what may have happened if we had sacked him. You know, we probably wouldn't have been the force we were. I'm not saying we wouldn't have won things, but we probably may have struggled to to emulate the feats we have and knocked Liverpool off the perch. Let's hope it can stay like that because they're only one behind us. But anyway, nobody wants to talk about Liverpool. So I'm looking forward to the game. I think it'll be tight. I think the Spurs might just nick it 2-1. I think we'll have to come after Spurs. We'll have to try and control the game in possession. But I do believe that that United are at the best when we can break, and we won't get that at home because we'll be expected to control possession. But I'm not quite sure we're capable of that. So I think with the way United like to play and the fact we're at home, we'll suit Tottenham. I really do. But we will see what happens, and you know we will see where we can go, and if we can actually keep the ball and pass our way through Spurs. I think one of the other points about United is that we tend to since Fergie left, we used to play with flying wingers, get the ball out to the wingers, get crosses in. Where recently we play very narrow, so the fullbacks, we don't really have wingers. We have like false wingers that don't really push out wide anymore. I know 4-4-2, which was quite common in Fergie's era, sort of not died a death because teams do still play it, but it's not as common as it used to be. But it frustrates me with United because we struggle to break teams down, and I think that's because we don't have our wingers with our overlapping fullbacks, and but then uh, you know, which means that we try and go through the middle of the pitch, and that's where it's congested. We struggle to break teams down. So I think the game will suit Spurs, but I hope not because I hope we win. And we need it. Let's face it. There's been a bit of negativity around transfers. I know we've got Edison Cavani coming. I will just go over that quick as we've only got a few minutes left. Because the teams will be coming out shortly. I can see them warming up in front of me. Here's the signing of the potential signing of Alex Telles looks a good signing, but again, why have we left it so late? You know, I'm surprised. Um, I can't remember who he plays for now. But I'm surprised. I'm surprised they want to let him go. Because you know we are already into the season. Really, it's fine doing business on transfer deadline day if you can add extras. Like Tottenham are looking for another centre half. I don't have an issue with that because they've done good business. But we just seem to do our transfers so late, really late, in the window. And for me, it's not really acceptable for Man United. I think Ed Woodward needs to take a look at himself because I think it's not about the money not being spent. It's that we try and go after all these players, but we try and go after them unbelievably late, um, in the transfer window. And a lot of clubs, quite rightly, once you start the season, don't want to sell players because the season started. So United need to be a lot more cannier. I think there's a thing about United that we can just buy whoever we want when we want. But when teams have started the season, they've got a settled squad, and they're not gonna, certainly the top teams, they're not gonna want to sell because then once the season started, like the transfer window's tomorrow, so Alex Tellers leaves, and then they have to go out and buy a replacement. Well, if they're not going to get time for that, to look for their options and make a short list of replacements, then they're very unlikely to sell to sell the top players, because other top players are not always available. So yeah, we do our transfer business way too late. I think the signing of Alex Tellers will be a good one if it gets done. But this is Man United of the last decade. Well, not quite a decade, but of the last 7 years. And we know that the Man United of the last 7 years struggle to get deals done. So, and our other big signing, Edison Cavani, that looks like he's coming here. Again, I say looks because you just don't know, even though his is slightly easier because wages shouldn't be a problem, and he is a free agent. And I just think, we're looking at all these forward players. Sancho would add something. I know TubeMix is a massive fan of Jadon Sancho. He absolutely loves him. But let's be honest, Dortmund have said he's not going to go. I think that this window, anyway, I think that we've obviously tried to look for Dembele, and now we're going for Cavani, and I think we're looking in the wrong area. I I think we need a centre half. All right, James Sancho would probably improve most teams in Europe, so he would add something. But the fact we haven't been able to get him and say, forget that, forget trying to get in another forward, because we've got Igalo, Rashford, Greenwood, and Martial. So, yes, okay, we could strengthen there, but it's not a main priority. So leave that. Try and work on Sancho during the season, even though the window's closed, like come to some agreement that when the transfer window opens either in January or in this next summer when prices are a bit different because of the pandemic, will hopefully be behind us, behind businesses, and then try and work on that. But okay, we can't get Sancho. We offered 96 million. Use that 96 million to buy two great centre halves, and then we've got real competition. Because me and JLI Wheels were talking before, and the success for any team is based on their defence. And, you need to be defensively solid, and then it's about the quality you have in front of that in midfield, in the wide areas, and up front. And so, so for me, if we do get Cavani, good signing, and obviously help us in the Champions League with the experience and with all the games we've got, but signing in the wrong areas again. And we're still not. Maguire's good, but he needs a partner. Now, I like, and I know TubeMix likes Eric Bailly, so he could be that man, but he does get injured a lot. So I think we need at least one more centre half if Bayern's going to stay, if not two, to make it really competitive. And then we can rotate the centre halves like we rotate the forward players and the midfielders. And then when we get two good centre halves in, and sort who's our number one keeper, whether it be Henderson, De Gea. I think Romero, I'm surprised he's not left, to be honest, because I think he deserves to be number one somewhere. But whoever that is, get the keeper situation sorted, get two centre halves, get Tellers, even though it's late in the window, and then we start to look alright. And that's without Cavani and Sancho. But okay, we've signed Cavani, but he's come out of nowhere. It's like last minute again, like Igalo was. Not saying Igalo's a bad player, but it was on deadline day in January. We needed a striker after Rashford's injury, and we sort of rushed. And it just seems like we rushed. Anyway, the teams and the managers are coming down the tunnel. It is Manchester United against Tottenham. The last game for both sides before the international break. I will be back, if TubeMix will allow me. I will be back for the post-match analysis. Hopefully this time my internet won't go off on the intro, because I was really looking forward to that. But we've got through it. I've been Sam Taylor, the prime and solo host today. Enjoy the game, everybody. If you want to like, comment, subscribe, like, and share to the YouTube, to the TubeMix channel, and we will be back. Do it, because it's only one click of a button. Come on, we need to get these subscribers up. But I will be back. I've been Sam Taylor. Enjoy the game, everyone. Come on, you Reds. And yeah, I'll be back probably in a